It started with a locked door. Dona Ana had always been sharp. Sharp-tongued, sharp-eyed, and sharper-willed than most people half her age. At 78, she still woke up at 6 a.m., made her own coffee, and read the newspaper cover to cover, in Spanish, Portuguese, and English. Her memory was intact. Her opinions were loud. Her mind undefeated. But after a fall in her kitchen, nothing serious, just a bruised hip, her children decided it was time. "It's for your safety, Mai. You'll be cared for." What they didn't say was, "We're busy. We feel guilty. This is easier." So they brought her to a facility, a senior living residence. But to Ana, it was a cage with curtains. She wasn't allowed to cook, couldn't go for walks without permission. Her books were taken away because they upset the other residents. She had no privacy, no freedom, no choice. And for the first time in her life, Dona Ana decided to lie. Just a little. Enough to make them believe she was fading. She stopped answering questions quickly, stared at walls during group therapy, muttered to herself in Spanish, repeated names from her past that no one knew. It worked. Within weeks, staff noted her cognitive decline. Doctors started adjusting her medication. Her children visited less. But Ana had a plan. One night, she complained of chest pain, just enough to worry the night nurse. She clutched her side, groaned, even cried. They called an ambulance. At the hospital, she was wheeled into a quiet room. Monitors beeped softly. The nurse took her vitals. And then, "You can drop the act now," the nurse whispered, smiling. His name was Raphael, young, kind, the only one who ever looked her in the eye at the facility. Months ago, he overheard her reading poetry aloud to herself in the garden. They'd started talking. Turned out, Raphael hated the place as much as she did. "I have a bus ticket," he said, "and a friend who owes me a favor." That night, Ana left the hospital through the back entrance. No wheelchair, no nurse, just her, Raphael, and a floral suitcase she'd hidden weeks ago. They took a midnight bus to a town she hadn't seen in 40 years. She used an old contact to rent a room under a false name. She called herself Clara. Under the radar, free. In the weeks that followed, Ana walked barefoot in the grass every morning. She bought her own groceries, made soup from scratch, laughed with neighbors who had no idea where she came from. She even started a blog, Diary of Clara, Notes from an Unfinished Life. It gained traction fast. She wrote about memory, about freedom, about pretending to be broken to escape being discarded. One of her most shared posts read, "They tried to lock me up with puzzles and pudding cups, but I still had stories to tell." Eventually, journalists came calling. They wanted to know, who was this anonymous woman with so much wisdom, so much fire? She never gave her real name, but one day she received a letter. No return address, just one line. "Mai, we read your blog. Come home, or let us come to you." She didn't answer, not right away. She thought about it, about her children, about forgiveness, about whether love means always being present, or sometimes letting go. Weeks later, she met them at a cafe. They hugged her like someone resurrected. She set boundaries. She didn't move back, but they visited often and listened. Today, Dona Ana, or Clara to most, still updates her blog. She teaches free creative writing classes at a local community center. Her most recent post? The most dangerous thing about growing old is not the body that weakens. It's being treated like you've already disappeared. Because Anna never disappeared. She just slipped out the back door with a plan. But what most people don't know is what happened in the weeks before she vanished from the facility. She had started leaving notes, hidden in crossword puzzles, folded into the pages of large print novels at the communal library, messages for anyone willing to look. I'm not what they think I am. I still dream every night. Freedom is on the other side of this door. One resident, Mr. Roberto, age 82, found one of the notes. He said nothing, but started leaving oranges and biscuits outside her door. Solidarity in silence. The facility staff grew suspicious. They increased her meds, changed her room. But Anna kept smiling. And Raphael? He wasn't just kind, he had his reasons. His grandmother had been in a place just like that, had begged to leave. When she died, he promised he'd never let another soul disappear in silence. Helping Anna wasn't just a favor, it was redemption. They kept in touch even after Anna settled into her new life. He sent her poems, she sent him socks. Their bond, forged in secrecy, became something stronger than family. 1 year later, Raphael quit his job. He opened a small bookshop cafe in the same town where Anna lived. She reads there every Friday, signs books, sips espresso, laughs. Her blog is now published as a memoir. Clara, the woman who vanished with a pen in her pocket. It became a bestseller. And when asked at a public event how she planned it all, she simply smiled and said, "When they stop looking at you, you become invisible. And when you're invisible, you can do anything." If this story moved you, subscribe to Resilient Stories. Because sometimes the best revenge is living freely. And sometimes growing old is the start of a brand new beginning. Your next story starts here.